What's going on, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. Just want to test out the audio quick. So what I want to do here, I want to start out while we let people get into the stream with us. I want to talk, this was in Rule the Freaking Markets. I've been really reading this book a lot. And what it goes on to say is how stops will save your butt on losing trades. Stops limit your risk on loss on bad trades. Put another way, stops enforce the important discipline of taking small losses and getting out when stocks go against you. Some traders find that they are unwilling to take a loss on any stock. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. Who does? I sure don't. But staying in a bad trade and letting it lose you money is sheer pigheadedness. I'd rather admit I'm wrong than have my stubbornness cost me a bundle. What often separates a good trader from a bad one is the ability to take small losses. Your goal must be to take small losses and make big gains. If you do this diligently, you'll become a profitable trader. But you ask, what if you stop out of a stock? You still want to trade? The simple answer, you can always buy it back, most likely at a better price if the trade still has potential. So that's very important. I'm going to continue to get into this. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. I want to make sure the volume's good for you out there. Yeah, and that is true. Not many platforms do offer crypto stop losses. So that is something that the space really needs to improve on. What's going on, guys? Volume good? Awesome. I'm going to go on just a little bit more here. Seems like common sense, doesn't it? What's the big deal? But so many traders just don't want to bother setting stops or are afraid they'll stop out of some great trade. Also, many traders are unsure of how tightly to set their stops. It's true that setting stops is an imprecise science and involves lots of trial and error. But this is no different from buying insurance for your property or for your health. Should you avoid insurance altogether just because you're not sure exactly how much something is worth or because it will cost you a little bit of money? I think not. You estimate and do your best that you can, and the insurance will cost you something, of course, but it'll be well worth it. I'll tell you more about where and how to set stops below. Again, remember what I told you in the last chapter. If you want to trade, you must be able to take small losses. You don't need to win every trade and never marry a stock. So we've talked about that for quite a while now, never marrying a coin. I really don't have a top altcoin holding. I just really trade this market, to be honest with you. I really think it has great volatility. The swings are incredible. And to me, I'd like to take advantage of those swings in short-term trading and also in swing trading. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you liking. We're going to let people get in here for another minute or two, then we're going to get into this. But what I want you all to do for me here, top 5 coins you want to go over. Whatever has the most votes, we're going to go over them. So just start putting that down low. Thank you. I appreciate that. Been a sub since 3,000. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so we have some Litecoin. It's looking like. I'm just going to write down basically how many Litecoins I get. I see some ZRX here. XRP. Okay, Aetherium. So far, it's looking like we will do Litecoin for sure. We'll do XRP. I know people have been wanting to see that as well. We'll throw that in. Bitcoin. And we'll do Bitcoin for sure because Bitcoin just drives the market, guys. That just is what it is. You always have to look at it. It's just like when you're trading stocks, you always need to look at the Dow and the SPY and those type of things as well. And I'll tell you what, guys, Ltc Btc has been getting smashed. I mean, the bear market on that is unbelievable. I was looking at it yesterday. So Aetherium, we'll do some ETH. And tell me what you guys think. Do you think this is a double top that we were having for Bitcoin, or do you think this was just some type of breather that we're taking right now before we go up and challenge 10,500? And this is just a tough area. Say you're not in a position, it's a tough area to take along because you have so much overhead resistance. You have that, $10,000 psychologically that we've been struggling with. You have 10,500, then we have all that overhead resistance. But there is some spaces there if we can break up through where it can really run. Looking like Link too. People really want to do some Link. I see people saying double top. Dump soon. Yeah, people saying double top already in. And guys, that's what you have to realize in this space too. I mean, we're just small little fish swimming around. These big whales, when they're seeing stuff like this, double tops, and they're playing millions of dollars, you know, they don't necessarily want to hold hands. They want to take what profit they probably already had and then wait for the next good opportunity. So that's just where we have to watch these market makers. You can see all the huge pumps throughout this space. Yeah, people saying 8 to 10,000 range. So like some consolidation. Okay, so guys, it's looking like we're going to do some Bitcoin, Litecoin, XRP, Ethereum, Link, and then if we get a little bit of time here at the end, then we'll go over a couple more, but that's what I'm going to start with. All right, we got about 70 people in here, so this is good. Oh, I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying it's for sure a top. I'm asking out there, is this a double top, or do you believe that this is just a cooling down? And we're going to go through all this. We're going to go through the support. We're going to go through the resistance. What you have to do is look at the market completely clear-headed, not as a bull, not as a bear. Just look at what's going on. Okay, so here we go, guys. We're going to get into this. And then I'll be right back after I do Bitcoin. We'll just talk after each coin quick. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, guys. So we're looking at $9,418 right now. And what we're looking at is on the 1-day time frame. So we're going to move this over. And the thing with Bitcoin, this is why it's such a slippery place where we're at right now. We have so much overhead resistance, but also we're still trading on the 1-day time frame here up above our 20 EMA. We're up above our 200 moving average still, and we're up above our 50. And those are what you want to be up above in an uptrend. So we do still have this intermediate term uptrend in place. Are we double topping a little bit here? Potentially. So we do have to be aware of that. And yesterday's candle was a bearish engulfing candle, and you can see the volume was right about average there. So that's why today's candle is going to be so important. Are we going to have continued downside, or was that just the relief that we needed so we can go back up there and try to get over top at $10,000? $10,000 is so very important for us, guys. We need to turn into support. I'll continue to mention that over and over and over because it acts as big overhead resistance when we're trading below it. So what we have to do, if we're going to have an upside move, we need to get over 10,000. Then it's going to be up to around that $10,500 is going to be the area. But you see this previous high that we had? Then you can also see where we wicked up to it before, and then look at this big cluster all in that area. So this is very stout and stiff overhead resistance. I'm not saying we can't get up through it with these whales, guys. You can have one of these moves come in at any type or any time. Whenever they want to do that, it can come in. So just be aware of that. But what we need to do is crack those areas and get over top of them and turn them into support. Now, in terms of support, what we need to see hold is $8,501. And the reason why I say that here, this is that previous area where we had tweezer bottoms off of, and it's right around that 20 EMA as well, which in most uptrends, you stay above it. You can see this uptrend that we're in. A lot of the times you'll stay up above that 20 EMA, and then in a downtrend, as you can see here, a lot of the times it'll act as overhead resistance. So that is an important area to look at. And I know a lot of people are saying, could we potentially get a golden cross in this area? We could, but it wouldn't mean that much because we're just basically moving horizontal. Whenever you see moving averages moving horizontal, that's moving averages are meant for trend capturing. Okay, so when they're sideways, they don't mean as much as when they're moving up or they're moving down. So that's what I'm talking about for Bitcoin here, guys. It's just slippery. We have so much downward pressure, but we also have a lot of bullish things going for us as well, like having strong supports and like having, you know, the 20 EMA as support right now. And if we take a look at Tradingview right in here, what you're going to notice is our overall summary. You have 2 sell, 9 neutral, 17 buy, oscillators 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy, and then moving averages here 1 sell, 1 neutral, 15 buy. So when you actually look at that there, things aren't looking too bad. And then what you can do, you can bounce out to the 1 week, which is pretty interesting, and take a look. You can go out to the 1 month, which is what I really like about this, even down to the 4 hours, just depending on what type of trade you're in there. So that's what I'm saying, guys. We're in this spot between $8,500 and that $10,500. Could this be a range that we chop back and forth in for a while? absolutely. And I know people were putting that down there, that $8,000 to $10,000 range. So that's definitely a possibility if we just consolidate in there for a while, maybe, cool down a little bit before we make that next move. But that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin here. To me, it's just a little bit more cautious. You need to be cautious in this area. It's tough either way. You can see the RSI, we have lost some strength there, and we are at 59 on the RSI for Bitcoin. I just want to jump back here, talk to you for a minute, read some of your questions here. You know what? I've tried the Brave rewards before. I'll try it again on my new computer. On my old one, it just wasn't accepting it. I've tried to do that. Yeah, lower highs on BTC. Yep. And that's the thing. It's like we still have those higher lows coming in, but now we're having those lower highs with all that overhead resistance. So that's why I said it's just a sticky situation right now. People talking about last pump coming after that 8,000. Thanks. I appreciate that, Phil. And that's it too. People not using proper risk management. That's so important, guys. Proper risk management when you're trading in this space and how volatile it is. This is really, truly one of the most volatile spaces in the entire world. I mean, the moves can happen 20% in a day to the upside or the downside, and some major markets don't move that an entire year. Good morning, guys. So that was Bitcoin. Next one we're going to be looking at here is Litecoin. Like I said, each time after the coins, I'll just come back, talk with y'all for a little bit. So let's take a look at Litecoin next. Litecoin's at 43.10. What I was talking to some people about here, what we have to be careful about, as you see overall now, we're in a downtrend for Litecoin. We're below our 200 moving average. This is all in the 1 day time frame, guys. Each candle represents 1 day. So we have the 200 moving average acting as overhead resistance. We have a trend line break from our purple trend line here. It came on heavier volume on a powerful candle. We are trading below our 20 EMA, and right now we're fighting with this 50 moving average, which it would be very nice for Litecoin to hold that, try to turn into support, and then start coming up here and try to challenge $47.52, getting back up in this trend line. But this is a very tough spot for Litecoin right now, because what this could turn into is almost a little bear flag where you had that push down and then you react back up, but what it's on is less volume. Okay, if this was a really, I guess, dominant move or a powerful move, you'd see it happen on more volume, and we're not seeing that yet. Could things change, guys? Like we talked about, this is cryptocurrency. But right now, the RSI is at 46. Still, we're having those lower highs coming in. We may potentially get a little break here to the upside. But for Litecoin, there's just a lot of overhead resistance, and it's much lower in terms of the indicators than what Bitcoin is. If we take a look here for our technical analysis, you're looking at 16 for a sell, 10 for neutral, 2 for a buy, oscillators, 2 sell, 9 neutral, 0 buy, and then moving averages, as we were talking about, 14 sell, 1 neutral, 2 buy. So that's where you just don't want to buck the trend. If you're not in a Litecoin position right now, I would wait until I had more confirmation trading back up above that 200 moving average. That's what most longer term investors are looking for, are coins trading up above their 50 and their 200 on the 1 day time frame. That's very important. So if Litecoin does start to break to the downside, we need to hold $40 psychologically, which we've wicked down to before, and then it'd be down around $36.92. And you could just keep working your way down, guys, 35 cents. So, our best case for Litecoin, in my opinion, is to get into some type of equilibrium and then start trying to break back up through that 200 moving average. I think that's going to be the key for Litecoin, but it's tough right now, guys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the compliments. Yeah, and worry about more what you could lose than what you can gain. That's the thing. You don't want to be greedy in a space like this. Not at all. And just remember, guys, when anything goes straight up like we've seen before, a lot of times it's going to have that 50 to 80% cool down. A lot of times we get bounces off the 0.786 Fibonacci. Yeah, I mean, Litecoin, if it got down to $30, I'm sure people would be looking at that. Yep, no problem, guys. Maybe some Digibyte. Yeah, right. When it's time to grab the spacesuit. Well, guys, I told you before I rode from it was April or May. I got in 2017, rode that top up, enjoyed it, and since then, I mean, we truly have just been in a bear market for 2.5 years now. We're having these secondary or intermediate term reactions where we still will run up 100, 200%, but I mean, guys, we've still been putting in lower highs overall on the macro sense. All right, so the next one we have done Bitcoin and Litecoin here. Let's go into XRP next. I know some people were asking about XRP, so we'll do that. Just do that quick, then we'll come back, talk a little bit more. And these are all the coins that I'm looking at. Guys, we trade some cannabis stocks. I mean, just different stocks, different things that I'm doing in terms of the stock market as well. Like to look at that, but we'll go into Ethereum, or I'm sorry, XRP. And this is going to be right around almost 20 cents right now. So for XRP, guys, what's so critical for it, and what I wanted to do here was really bounce out. This has been putting in lower highs for the longest time now. And what's impressive is I still can't believe, guys, it was up around $3.31. That was one heck of a move. And that just shows you this space. You know, in the matter of a few days, we were at 25 cents and it went all the way up to over, you know, basically $3.50. But since then, you can see right here, here's our high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So that's why it's so important for XRP to start getting back up above almost into that 25-cent range, turn that into support, and then start trying to come up here and tackle that 34 cents, because they need to stop making, or XRP needs to stop making these lower highs in the macro sense. And we've also been having a lot of lower lows coming in. So think if this was a massive dump down low and we made another lower low, guys, that could take us very low. So that's why you have to be careful here. And you can see this red area here that you definitely wouldn't want to drop much below, and that's going to be 0.17853. But also same with how Litecoin was. XRP is trading below its 200 moving average. You can see several times we wicked up through it, buyers were feeling it out, and then we had that dump. So we're kind of getting squeezed between the 200 moving average and that 50 moving average, and we're just going to have to see which way it's going to break. And most likely the candles will get tighter in that area. And if we look at Tradingview, what you'll see here, summary overall, we have 17 for a sell, 10 neutral, 1 buy, oscillators 2 sell, 9 neutral, 0 buy, moving averages 15 sell, 1 neutral, 1 buy. So this will just show you, you know, you want to align yourself with the trend, and right now we are not getting those buy signals for XRP. Okay, so overall, XRP needs to hold 0.17853, and we need to start getting back up above 0.21443, and then tackling this 200 moving average, which is going to be around 22 cents. RSI, you can still, we're still having those lower highs coming in right now, and for an upside move, you want to start seeing that volume swell, and we have not seen that yet. So like we talked about, you know, this one's behind Bitcoin as well. And let me know what you guys do in terms of XRP. I mean, do you guys trade it? Are you hodlers of it? Do you swing trade it? It can have really nice moves, really fast, aggressive moves. Yeah, and there's going to be, so let's see here, there's about 40 billion XRP, 60 billion yet to be released. That's the problem. Yeah, and that's something for me too. I like a lower supply. Yeah, swing trading's good for XRP. And that's why I cover and why I like to look at it as well. So guys, that was XRP. Do you want to do Link next or Ethereum? Go ahead, put it down low. And people holding. People saying XRP and XLM have been such disappointments. Guys, I think truly the whole space, I mean, it got so hyped, and that's why you never want one of those parabolic market cycles. You want to have support and resistance built so that we don't have a 3-year bear market after a pump that lasts truly about a month and a half, 2 months. When Bitcoin got going over that 10,000 and hit 20,000, it happened very fast. It might have been even 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, look at people talking about that too. I have 20,000 XRP I'm holding, hoping it has a great pump so I can dump. And that's what happens, guys. And that's why you see these reactions after a big dump. People will wait for that reaction to go up as high as possible there, and then they get out themselves. And then you just see it crash back down even farther. Yeah, and people have been there. You know, noobs buy XRP and get stuck with it, and then, you know, you get some trouble. It's happened to the best of us. Patience is always key in this space. Yes, it is. And that's one thing, guys. Take a look. I mean, all these pumps. After that, there's always a dump. So don't FOMO into stuff. The best thing is to wait after a big dump and a retracement and then see what you can do. All right. So we're going to go into, let's do Link next. And also let me know if you like doing the live streams as well. We'll do it from time to time. And people have asked me what I use. I use TradingView Pro. So we don't have all the ads and commercials. I pay for it each month. And let's get a good link chart here. Try to get you guys some information. All right, so with Link as well on the 1 day time frame right here, you can see we're almost having a little bit of a rounded top. Okay, it hasn't completed. We haven't had the full round here, but this is something that you do want to be careful of, okay? And we're also having some higher volume selling up in this area. Do you see right here? We're having some higher volume selling, and that also came with the hanging man candle. So for me, the area that we would have to get over here, we had these tweezer tops. We could draw a trend line just like that. So for an upside move, we need to break out, and we need to get up above $4. That's going to be the area. If we can get up above $4, then we'd go up here and we try to get up above that $4.48. So actually we double topped here, came back down. So this would almost be a third time that we were trying to make it over top of that. And if we do fail here, guys, that's where you have to be careful, because a lot of times on the third failure, you can really get a big dump down. I'm not saying that has to happen, but you need to be aware of it, because what that shows is we can't get past this price of around $5. The bulls have not been able to push it up over top of that right now. So for Link, we're still fighting with this 20 EMA, which is good. We haven't completely lost that. We're up above our 50 and we're up above our 200. Overall, we are throwing some buy signals right here, but it's more in the neutral sense. So it's more of that waiting game right now. We're looking at the summary: a 10 sell, 9 neutral, 9 buy. Oscillators, we have 2 sell, 8 neutral, 1 buy, and then moving averages, 8 sell, 1 neutral, 8 buy. So personally, for me, if I was going to play a position like this, I'd want to see a nice strong break out of this trend line on heavy volume, and also us getting over top of these two tops. Then we could really run hard. That's what I'd be looking at. And then in terms of support, it would probably be down around that 200 moving average, the main area of support. If I was holding for a longer term position, we wouldn't want to drop much below that $2.87 there. But the volume is starting to drop off a little bit as we're starting to round out here. We're at $3.69 right now. So that's Link. Talk about that. I like using the log chart more. It's going to show better data for me, and it's also better for trend line breaks. It's a little bit more accurate. Yep, no problem, guys. More live streams, people liking that. So we'll do that from time to time. Guys, sit now and see this. I'm going to use this as a perfect example, Tug-of-Foo, how you put that out there. People were talking, you know, $10 XRP. You know, how many videos did people put out or see about Bitcoin being $100,000 at this Litecoin halving, guys, and we're not even up above $10,000 right now. So that's why, yeah, I can give you an endorphin rush, and you can start calculating, oh, I have 100 Litecoin. If it goes to this price, this is what type of money I'll have. We've all been there on different coins and everything, but realistically, we just have to take the price as it comes. Other than that, people's hopes are going to get really let down. That just is what it is, and that's why I want to trade. I want to take advantage of 20% swings. If that makes sense. So guys, that was Link. The next one we're probably going to do here is Ethereum. We'll take a look at that. I know a lot of people want to cover Ethereum, and we may do Neo. I see some people talking about Neo. So if I get some time here, I'm just about to go down to my gym to do a workout. So I just wanted to pop on here while my breakfast and everything was just setting in. XRP has lost 1 billion selling pressure every month. Yeah, that's tough. Thank you very much for that, Jim Beasy. Yeah, we'll take a look at that, the LTC Btc, because I was taking a look at that last night, guys. It's really in a severe bear market. We'll have to take a look at that here. So next, let's go into Ethereum. And then we'll maybe do NEO and then the LTC BTC. Then I'm most likely going to have to run. So let's take a look at this. So for Ethereum, we're at $200 right now. We're actually going to get this yellow trend line off. Just give me a second here. Okay, so for Ethereum, guys, this is the area we've been talking about for quite a while now. We need to get up above $205, turn into support so that we can get over top of $214. That would give us room to run up to 247, which would probably be a nice little trade if we could break up above that area, if we're going to move that. In terms of the downside, what we need to hold is 174, and that's where we had this doji candle that we wicked down to. Buyers stepped in that area, but there's still, guys, I want to see more volume as we continue to move up here to try to get over top of that 205. That's going to be important for us. But now it's basically between this 205 and this 174. We could bounce in this area until Bitcoin makes its decision. But now what you can see is we can probably draw a trend line here. And as you do this stuff, guys, your eyes will just pick it up more and more. Let's turn this yellow so you can see it a little bit better. We'll thicken it up. But so to enter a trade now, you'd want to see a nice strong upside break out of here on heavy volume. But now we have an overhead downtrend that we're dealing with. So that's why it's sticky here, because we have the downtrend coming in, but in the intermediate term, we're still in that intermediate term uptrend, trying to defend those higher lows. In terms of Ethereum technical analysis here, we're looking at 4, 8, and 16. Moving averages, we're at 2 sell, 1 neutral, 14 buy. Oscillators, 2 sell, 7 neutral, 2 buy. But in my opinion, this is still a kind of a wait and see area, because things could get sticky right around this spot there. And what do you guys think about Ethereum? Is that a long-term hold for y'all? Is that a trade that you like to do? Do you swing trade it? Right. Go pump some ETH in your guns. Right. I'm trying. Today's actually a leg day. I have squats and I'm going to be doing a little bit of deadlifts. So that was Ethereum. Let's take a look next at NEO. NEO's one that also really likes to run hard as well. Let's find a good chart for you, though. I haven't taken a look at NEO in quite a while, to be honest with you. Okay, so NEO's at $9.97 right now. And what's happening is here, and guys, why it's kind of hard to trade some of these coins like NEO and some of the other ones, there's not a lot of volume. There's not a lot of liquidity in the market. So you'll get a lot of wicks back and forth. And that's when you really can get wicked out, when you're setting stop losses. But right now we're trying to hold this 200 moving average. Do you see these lower wicks? That's buyers trying to defend it. And then once we got up to the top here, we had tweezer tops at around $12. And then we had a bearish engulfing candle on heavier volume. So this is, I mean, this is a pretty sticky situation as well for NEO. NEO needs to continue holding higher lows if we're going to continue to go to the upside, but it's going to have to first get over top of $10, turn that into support. Then it's going to be up around $11.32. Then it'll be up around $12.48 are going to be the upsides. But still, this 200 moving average is moving horizontal here. And like we talked about with the moving averages, it doesn't mean as much when it's moving sideways as when it's actually turning to the upside there. In terms of indicators, we'll take a look at our RSI. RSI, we're having some selling here. You can see our pressure. We've been having some downside pressure. We're at 57 right there, with volume starting to tail off. So this is also an area, guys. It's just more so waiting for Bitcoin to make its move. If we take a look at Tradingview for NEO, we're looking at a strong buy in terms of the moving averages, because we're still up above the 20, the 50, and the 200. Buy, we're looking at a 5, 9 neutral, 14 buy. And then over here for our oscillators, 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy. So that's a little bit more neutral. And as you go down through, what you'll see is on the shorter term, you're getting those sell signals. On the longer term, you're having the buy signals with the moving averages. And then more so with the oscillators, we're running just a little bit more neutral there. But I do like NEO. I like how fast it runs, but take a look, guys. I mean, how amazing is this space, though, in the volatility? Just to show you something real quick. NEO at one point was trading at $215. Think about that. And when it was starting out down here, its first real higher low was at about $6. And you can see where we're at right now. But this same deal here, these lower highs have just really been coming in. NEO at one point made it all the way down to $3.89. So guys, that's the reason right there why I trade. Really think about that. Something that was up around $240 is at $10 right now if you were just holding it the whole time. And say you caught it, say you bought Ant shares or whatever at 45 cents and you said, I'm just going to hold for the next 5 years. You saw it go up to $200. You didn't take profit and now it's back down to 10, which would still be an amazing profit overall. But I mean, that's unbelievable life-changing money if you would have caught something like that. Right. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. People talking about, I want to get back into trading. What site? I really like Tradingview. It hasn't let me down. I haven't had many glitches with it. I would suggest Tradingview Pro because I don't like having all the ads and everything pop up, especially for you guys when you're just trying to listen. And ETH long term. I know people talking about ETH long term. What do you think are the best? I'll throw this question to you all out there. What do you think are the 5 best coins long term? Say, I know none of us know 5 years from now, but 5 years from now, what do you think are the 5 best coins if you put it down low that you think will be successful? Because you know there's going to be a lot of poop coins that people just forget about and they never make a comeback. That is what it is. And others are going to continue to have market cycles. And then after this, we'll do the Ltc Btc. All right, so let's take a look at Ltc Btc. Okay, so Ltc Btc, and what you can see here, same deal. Do you see this overall downtrend? Look at the highs. Guys, 1.0.025465. So 25,465 sats. Think about that. And now you can see here, we basically had a double top in this area. And this top right here was even weaker, came on heavy volume. So that would have been a sign to get out. But overall, guys, another lower high. And then right now we're basically trying to set a lower low, trying to find that area here. Maybe this is a spot where we can get our next little bounce to the upside here, because what we put in down at the bottom here on the 1-day time frame was a bullish piercing pattern. So yesterday's was a bullish piercing pattern, came on about average volume. So what we need now is follow through. And if we get some follow through, then maybe we can get up here to around that 20 EMA. And that would be around we'll say 5,023 sats is what we'd be looking at. But that would be our best case scenarios, that we get a nice little bounce out of here. But you see our last bounce where we had a bullish piercing pattern, we had a bounce, didn't come on much volume, and then we had another leg down. So if you are trying to catch this and say you even entered here, you definitely need a stop loss below here, or you could have a whole nother leg down. If we take a look at our volatility stop, you can see it's all down to the negative right now. So this is actually showing you where you'd put your stop if you were shorting it, because the downtrend has been that powerful. But to me, our best hope would be to get a reaction, something like this, like bounce back up to the 50, or even come back up and test that 200 down the road. Probably going to take some time. And then we'll have to see if we're going to have another leg down or not. But guys, this is a tough one right here. If we take a look at Tradingview for Ltc Btc, and that's just why I haven't been covering it a ton. You're looking at a sell, 17 sell, 8 neutral, 3 buy. Moving averages, 15 sell, 1 neutral, 1 buy. Oscillators, 2 sell, 17 neutral, 2 buy. So you can see there that it's not throwing buy signals right now. You have to be very careful. And that's not to burst anybody's bubble. That's just is what it is. And I also want to point out, as people were asking about Tradingview here, what's nice, along with all the different coins you can get and alarms and everything you can set, you have different news here. So whatever coin you're going over, say I just clicked on the Dow or whatever right now, it would bring up all the news for that. So it's always nice to have the news at your fingertips as well as you're going through all this type of stuff. I'm not sure if Tradingview accepts PayPal or not. Yeah, Tradingview sends signals. Yep. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to be getting off here. Have a wonderful Saturday. It's awesome to be here with you. I hope to do this once or twice a week. I really appreciate all the help, guys, and all the thumbs up, all that type of stuff. Just cool to be here with you, and I'm glad this is working. I'm glad the volume is good, guys. Just put that one more time if you could, if the volume was good, because I'm going to save these settings here. with this microphone, and then we'll keep that. Yep, no problem, Cooper. Rich, cheers to you as well. Good. I'm glad everybody's doing well with this volume setting here. I got my new computer, and then it's trying to get everything synced in. Yep, God bless you guys too. All right, guys. Well, God bless you all. Take care. Have a wonderful day.